gems, each one a star, from places distant and lands afar. Shapes that shimmer, hues that play. This is your chance, it's Gem Drop Day! See the light in every stone, crafted by hands, each one alone. A fleeting glimpse, don't let it fade. Gems like these are never remade. On the More Gems Show, where treasures shine. A moment of beauty, a spark divine. Cut to perfection, glowing with pride. Step into the wonder, come inside ya. Come inside ya. It's the More Gems Show, a dazzling view where every gemstone waits for you. Welcome to the More Gems Show. Let's go.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the More Gems Show. I'm Steve Moriarty, your host. And with me tonight is my son, Michael, who's in charge of this production. Hello, Michael.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Thank you for joining us again for another episode of the More Gems Show. We've got some great things we're going to show you tonight. Do you
And,
want to tell them a little bit about the show?
Well, I just want to say that Jeffrey's missing tonight, semi-missing. He's working from home and watching over the chat, but he can't be with us tonight because of he's prepping for a colonoscopy. So, sorry, Jeff. But he's with us in spirit. So, hi, Jeff.
Yeah. I wish you were here, Jeff.
Yeah, for sure. All right. What'd you say, Mike?
Yeah, you want to just kind of tell them a little bit about the show for any newcomers that are just joining us tonight, because we've recently started streaming across platforms. We started on YouTube, but now we're on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. So if you're watching us there, thanks for joining us. Otherwise, I'm sure that we've got a lot of the usuals. I can see a bunch of people in here. So there's Tracy, T. Higgs, Kimberly, Kyle, Vicky, Elma. Thank you all for joining us, and everybody else that if I don't see you pop up, yeah, thanks for coming. Let us know where you're watching from.
We'll be showing you over 30 stones tonight, many that I've cut, and quite a few that we bought from a recent trip. We just went to the Denver Gem Show. We haven't been there for a few years. We kind of had stopped going there because of our overseas trips, but unfortunately because of tariffs currently, we couldn't make a trip overseas. We'd planned on going to Thailand this year. We were there last year and were very successful, and we'd planned on going back. I've been there many times back in the 80s and 90s, and it's just a really good place to go to find particularly cut gems. So couldn't go there, so we went to Denver. I had pretty low hopes of what was going to happen, but we actually had a really successful trip and got some really nice cut stones, a little bit of rough. So it was a bit of a surprise to me that we did as well as we did.
So yeah, tonight you're going to see many of those stones that we brought back from Denver. And if you're new to the show, to shop all the stones that we are going to discuss, you go to MoreGems.com. You're going to click the green banner, which the instructions are right here, and then you'll see all of the stones listed tonight. There are a few hidden gems, so we've got 3 hidden gems tonight. Those are going to pop up sporadically throughout the show. Those are going to be 25% off. Everything else is 15% off. You don't need a coupon code. But the hidden gems, you'll need to use Rare 25, and that'll give you 25% off those stones.
And they have to reopen their...
Yes, yeah. Once those pop up, we'll let you know, and then you'll just have to refresh your browser, and then those new stones will pop up. But we'll kind of explain that when it comes along. And if you do want to purchase tonight, we accept credit card, PayPal. If you want to do financing, we have Affirm and Shop Pay. We do not do any holds or layaways tonight, but tomorrow, if the stone is still available that you want, you can give us a call, and then we'll kind of try and help you out from there.
Okay, and just a little bit about the pricing. You'll see here praised for price on on each item, and that's based on the Gem Guide, which is market-driven, independent pricing guide. The people from Gem Guide go around to all the trade shows, like they were probably in Denver. They really focus on Tucson and some of the Bangkok and Hong Kong shows, and they go around and they price from the wholesale dealers' pricing, and they produce this book which really goes through a really wide variety of gems, break it down by different sizes and qualities, and give us an idea of what a wholesale price for this type of gem would be. In this current guide, they do show things that have gone up in price, and it'll show as a darkened insert into the pricing. You can see the darker pricing, and things that have gone up this month include blue star sapphires, green sapphires, pink sapphires, blue-green tourmalines, indicolites, pink tourmalines, and rubelites. Those are things that have gone up, and I would suspect, I don't know what they're going to do after tariffs really hit us, because this business is, I mean, it's like 90% of everything we purchase is from out of the country. So it's going to have a significant effect on on the pricing of gems. We saw it a little bit. The only noticeable thing I saw in Denver was the people from the Amolite from Canada. I did notice that the price on that was up fairly significantly, and that's totally due to the tariffs. So, but other than that, I didn't see any price increases yet. I think we're all holding back a little bit and hoping that in October the tariffs will not take place, but we'll see what happens. So,
and I did see that the president of the AGTA and one other member, they were going to head down to Congress and try and discuss with them something to, I don't know, mitigate these, at least for the colored stone industry.
For loose stones, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll see some success with that.
Yeah. Good luck, Bruce Bridges.
Yes, yeah. So, yeah, good luck on that, and we're all rooting for you, so.
Yeah, I'd like to get back to travel. I mean, eventually we're going to have to travel no matter what, and I would expect I'll absorb some of the price, and you're going to end up absorbing the rest of it. So, time will tell. What did we miss there? Anything, Michael?
I don't think so. If anybody has any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat. If you are watching on YouTube, I can see those questions. If you're watching on TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook, unfortunately I cannot see those, but I told Jeffrey to relay them to me. Also, if you have any issues with the video quality or audio, please leave it in the chat, and I'll do my best to fix that. But otherwise, I think we are ready to start the show, Steve.
All right. Okay, up first is a chrome tourmaline. Just a really nice gem. One thing to say about the colors that you see, the most accurate picture is going to be what's online. We can make adjustments with the cameras that I can't make here. There's a lot of settings on the camera that I can work to get the colors right, and you're going to find that the colors are better what's online than what we're showing here. But this will give you an idea of the brilliance, and this is just a really beautiful chrome tourmaline. Good clarity, it's SI1 clarity, so there's something in it that's minor. And that's the other thing to note when you're looking at these cameras. They show everything, so there's no hiding inclusions. They show them much more dramatically than they actually are. So you'll see a few gems tonight that look included that when you look at them in your hand, much less included. So just the nature of these brighter lights and in the close-up cameras. So this particular gem weighs 2.91 carat, comes from Tanzania. And this is one of the pieces of rough that I did buy on our last trip to, I actually bought it in Kenya. So just got around to cutting it. Appraised price on this is $37.80. Our online price $19.90. And with the 15% off, the stone is $1,692 or $581 a carat. Really nice shape, nice big size, no extra weight in the belly. So you get a full looking 2.91 carat stone.
And Melinda wants to know, what does chrome mean?
Well, chromium is the coloring agent. You know, most things colored by chrome, they're often a combination of chrome and vanadium. But chrome is the coloring agent. And if we put a UV on this, it will turn red, which is the nature of chrome. It's just what gives it its color. It gives emerald its color, gives ruby its color. So it colors a lot of different gems. You know, so it is one separation generally between Tsavorite and chrome tourmaline is the fluorescence issue. Although some Tsavorite, I believe, do fluoresce, but generally not.
Yeah, I think I guess it depends on how deep the color is. I don't know, but yeah, I've got a couple crystals that do fluoresce orange, and a lot of the mint garnets will fluoresce orange.
Yeah, but typically it is a separation for the two gems.
And Sol wants to know, is this from the Commander mine that you're aware of?
Is this from the Commander mine? I don't believe so, but I'm not positive. I don't know specifically what this mine is. Chrome tourmaline. It is one of my favorites, and chrome, particularly compared to Tsavorite. Chrome is really a rare gem. You know, it's hard to find really good chromes. And typically stones in this size are overly dark is the biggest problem with chrome tourmaline. They look great in the rough. You cut it and it's almost black. You know, so that's part of the reason you don't see them bigger, because they do get overly dark. And it's just not generally available in larger sizes. Most commonly available under 2 carat sizes. All right. Next gem up is a natural tanzanite. This is a real rarity because I cut a lot of tanzanites and rarely do I leave them natural. You know, this one had enough of the blue coloring in it that I thought it was a worthy natural stone. And in daylight, it is even more dramatic than what you'll see here. But it's a cool, natural-looking gem. You know, it just has a nice, pleasing color, and you could heat this stone. This stone will heat into a great blue-purple color, just because the depth of it is one of those that will be a great heated stone. So that's always an option, you know, if somebody buys a stone like this and later decides, which we have done, that they'd like to heat it, we're glad to heat it for you.
Well, that'll be up to Vicky. She purchased this stone, so
All right.
Thank you, Vicky.
Thanks, Vicky.
It is a beautiful
That's
stone.
cool stone, and no extra depth in this. You can see the great brilliance, and it's just cut as shallow as you can cut it and still be fully brilliant with no window. So you get a big millimeter size, almost 10 millimeter, you know, so that's a pretty good size stone. So, enough said about that one. Thank you, Vicky. Yeah, I don't. If you watch the shows regular, it's rare. I have one that I think was worthy natural. They're all natural when I finish them, but it's very few that have enough of the other colors that don't just look straight brown. So I generally heat them right away. I just look at it and go, nothing exciting about that, and it's natural color, and just heat it, and it turns a beautiful color. So, yeah. Next gem up is another tanzanite. This is a fancy green color. Pretty unusual shape, just because, of course, the shape of the rough, and the rarity of greens, particularly these days. Particularly always, but the greens showed up. How long's it been now, Michael? 2-3 years?
By 2 years.
2 years. When we were in Tanzania, they said they were gone.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that
more
that
like
was about
3 years.
No, that was 2 years ago, and then we probably picked them up. But yeah, 2.5, 3 years ago. You're right.
Yeah. So this was a fairly big parcel of it I bought. They hit the pocket, and I was fortunate enough to get a chance at a parcel of green rough. So I grabbed it, and just like many, many things, they're here today and gone tomorrow. And this is a situation where greens were gone for maybe 30 years. Greens came out sometime in the 90s, could be 80s. And then after that, there just was no material. Maybe a very rare piece, but no production of greens. And then in the probably around COVID time, they came out again. And as quick as they came, they're gone. So this is a 2.49 carat that I cut, clean stone. Praise price we don't have. The guides, it's rare enough that they don't produce a pricing guide for greens. So our price online, $1,470. And with the 15% off, it's $1,250 or $502 a carat. Fancy green tanzanite. So our show in Denver worked out well for one thing. I got lots of spinels. I was fortunate enough to run into a friend, another Steve, and Steve was representing another friend of ours who's another Steve, who unfortunately died last year, and he was selling his collection for the family, and he, Steve, I've known him for probably 40 years, and he just would go to the shows every year and just collect. And he'd collected quite a few stones, and he had some great spinels. And spinels become one of the most important gems in the business. They've increased in price probably more than any other stone. The only other stone that's increased so much is probably the garnets, and blue spinel particularly has been quite a rare stone. If you get into the cobalt blues, it is one of the most expensive gems in the business. The cobalt blues, we've seen them for $50,000, $60,000 per carat. Just kind of crazy money in my opinion, but they're a unique color. But this is a really nice blue color. You'll see a lot of the gray spinels, a lot of the stuff. There's one later in the show that we have that were kind of blue-green, but not as blue as this gem. Just has a really pleasing color. Not completely clean. Does have the one veil across it. But the color is just really outstanding. I haven't had a blue this good a color ever. Yeah, I'm sure ever is correct. So this one weighs 2.31 carat, appraised price $34.60, and $18.90 is the price online. And with 15 off, this stone is $1,607. Oh, we had a sale there, Mike?
We did. Well, Phil, he came in again and he picked this stone up.
Okay.
So thank you very much, Phil. Yeah, it's a great stone.
It's a great stone, Phil.
Yeah,
it's one of those that I have no idea what it's truly worth. I know blues, like I said, we've seen some crazy prices for blues. And this is really, really a beautiful stone. And, but what the true value of it is, having never owned one before. And my friend Steve, who collected this, he's been buying for, like I said, 40 plus years. And so don't know when he got it or, just hard to tell the real value of it.
And not only that, he picked up another blue stone, which was the Marquis Blue Tanzanite, that blue-green one.
Ah, okay.
So that stone's really cool, Phil.
Yeah,
I don't know if you're aware, but that one is actually heated from this green material we've been cutting, which pretty much makes it ultra rare because, one, the green is extremely rare, and then not that many people are heating that green, so...
and I wouldn't either, but it was such an ugly green. it only had one choice, was to heat it.
But it's a cool, it makes it a really unique blue color for.
And we've heated those before, so we knew kind of what we were going to get. So it was definitely a dramatic improvement. As a matter of fact, if you put them together with this spinel, they're not the same color, but they're the same mix of colors, So. All right, next gem up is another spinel. Really a beautiful marquee. Same collection. And lately I just began to just love marquees. Just something about the shape when you mount it. It's just a real pleasing finished piece of jewelry. This is a very, very clean pink spinel. Kind of typical for them to have some inclusions, but this is a really clean gem. This one supposedly comes from Russia. And my understanding, Steve used to keep good notes, but I don't think we had all the notes available for the sources for these gems, because I bought quite a few of his collection and a lot of them had no source on it. This one did say Russia though, which would be, I think it's Lake Baikal is it's near that this material comes from. This one weighs 1.61 carats. Appraised price of $4,690, and our price online is $24.90. And with the 15% off, it's $2,117 or $1,300 a carat. Just really a beautiful, beautiful pink stone. Very similar to what you get out of Mahenge. Mahenge will be more expensive. Mahenge is more expensive than any other source of spinels. Rightfully so or not, I mean, this would compete with any Mahenge pink spinel. So nice color, nice size. Again, I keep stressing about the depth, because a lot of stones, when we cut them, I mean, if the rough is deep, you use all the rough, and you'll see some gems tonight that are much deeper cuts. You don't waste it, you cut it. But the advantage of being shallower, as long as it's not too shallow, is that you get a bigger size gem. So this one's almost 12 millimeters long and 6 wide. So it's really good proportions, almost 2-to-1 proportions, which is considered to be ideal. Really, really a beautiful pink spinel. Next gem up is one of both Mike's and my favorites.
And this one is the first hidden gem.
Yeah.
So if any of you were looking online, you wouldn't have seen this. But I'm going to go ahead and make it live right now, and I'll let you know when you can refresh your page.
So this is peridot from Pakistan, and this is a particular part of the mining area that produces these mint green colors, much like Marilani mint garnet, a similar color range, a little different than all other sources of peridot. As you can see, these are typified by these Ludwigite needles. You can see a needle across it here. In person, these are very, very difficult to see, almost impossible. And they just look clean.
Just to jump in here, Steve, yeah, it should be live now. So if you are looking for this amazing peridot, just hit refresh on the list of stones and type in Rare 25 to get 25% off our price.
And this is a huge gem, 24 karat in peridot. You just don't see that kind of size very often, particularly in this color. I did buy 2 or 3 of them. I think they're one of the best values on the market when you look at the price per carat that they actually are, or as big and as rare a gem as they are. They're one of the least expensive high-end gems. This particular stone, it weighs 23.98 carat. Praise price of $12,100. Our price online $76.80, and with the 25 off, it's $57.60 or $240 a carat. Most other gems with this kind of rarity, this kind of size, just top gem materials, typically $500 a carat and more, and almost any gem. You look at tanzanite, of course, it's $600 a carat, $700 a carat in this size. Aquamarines are $1,500 a carat. You can go through all the rarer gems, and you'll find that this is one of the least expensive. We just have a really good source for this material, and he always comes up with some just great colors and big gems, and really well cut. If you look at the cutting on it, it's just really remarkable that it is cut in Pakistan, and with this kind of quality.
And I just seen KT mentioned, she said it looks like there's another stream going on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, and that is correct, KT. We are streaming on multiple platforms. There's a vertical format and our traditional horizontal format here on YouTube.
And if you look on mineralmike.com, you'll find he's collected a lot of peridot crystals. We just both love peridot, and his collection shows that. And just some really big. How big was the last one you bought?
Oh, I didn't even weigh it yet. Okay. There was no weight. It's a monster, but It's a sweet crystal. So if you're looking for an amazing peridot crystal, I've got actually a few that I just purchased, big size, that I'm excited to list, and they'll be on MineralMike.com in probably, I don't know, a couple weeks or so. But if you have any interest in that, feel free to reach out, and I'll show you what I've got.
All right, peridot from Pakistan. And our next gem up is another spinel. And another unusual color that I don't believe I've ever owned.
Yeah, KT, we're also in the vertical format here on YouTube as well. So it is most likely, our stream as well.
So this is, they call these lavender spinels, or it's almost purple, but, if you look in the guide, they do list it as their lavender spinels. This particular stone weighs 2.91 carats. Really good clarity. And as all spinels, there's no treatments for this material. They're all pretty much natural. I don't know that any spinel, although, I think I was in Bangkok once and they were heating a spinel. I don't know if it was successful or not. So I don't know that there are no heat treatments for spinels, but in general, they're all natural color. This one weighs 2.91 carats. Likely from Sri Lanka. Again, this was bought from the from the collection, and it just says really nice brilliance. Nicely cut for a longer gem. Appraised price $2,330. Our online price $1,455. And with the 15 off, it's $1,237 or $425 a carat.
Someone wants to know what the hardness of spinel is.
Spinel is 7.5. As I age, I kind of forget, start losing what all the hardnesses are. Don't use it enough, but it is very durable stone. It's one of those that you can put in a ring, and it just has great durability. It's a tough gem, and toughness and hardness are two different characteristics. Whereas diamond's the hardest gem, but it's not the toughest gem. Sapphire is tougher than a diamond. This stone's probably tougher than a diamond. Okay. Welcome, More Gems shoppers. I'd like to draw your attention to the blue light special in our gemstone department. Today we're featuring 9x7 antique cushion tanzanites. We have 6 of them. They're mostly leaning towards the violet. I think a couple of them are a little more stronger blue than violet. But they're all VS1 clarity. Measure 9x7. The average weight is 2.31 carats. The appraised price on these is $1,850. Our price online $1,250. And with the 30% off, it's $875 or $379 a carat. They're just really nicely cut. You can see a nice brilliance on them. Beautiful color. Our blue light special tonight, 6 stones available. And there's the 6 together, and Valerie did a great job photographing these. It's not easy to get 6 stones all to show up well. That's tonight's blue light special. All right, next gem up. This one is particularly bad on showing its color in this setup. In daylight, it's just a really, really nice red gem. You know, and red spinels have gone up in price so much. I mean, for a while they were vying with the price of rubies, but then rubies went up dramatically, and now the red spinels are typically about half the price of what rubies are. But this stone is really, really good red, a little bit to the violet side. Purplish red, as many rubies are. You know, rubies you get pinkish red and violet red, and this would be one that would compare to a ruby that's violet red. Just difficult. It's a color difficult to photograph. But beautiful red gem, and it's been a long time since I had red spinel. This one weighs 1.95 carats. Appraised price is $84.70. Our price online $59 or $56.90, and with the 15 off, it's $48.37 or $24.80 a carat. Looks like we had a sale there, Michael.
Yes. So Edwin picked up this stone.
Oh, cool.
And he also picked up the 2.91 carat step cut chrome tourmaline. So thank you, Edwin.
Ah, cool.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, sweet
thanks.
stones.
Yeah. You know, when you see the color of this, particularly take it to daylight, and it really is a beautiful color. You know, it's been, I don't know how many years since I had a good red spinel. Just the price has just generally gone just too far out. You know, you can see the appraised price on it, and you know, it's just hard to find good reds. And this is really well cut stone, very clean, you know, and just something you just don't get very often. We have another sale there, Michael.
Yes.
Or you?
So we do have another sale, another spinel sold. It was this purple 2.91 carat
cool.
antique cushion spinel, and that one went to Eileen. So thank you,
Okay,
Eileen. Yeah.
And it's another one that, you know, not having had these stones in so many years, or when's the last, I don't even know I've ever had one like this. You know, really knowing what the true value is difficult. And I know spinels, you know, the value of spinels gone up so much, it's really hard to follow unless you're buying regular and find these stones regular. It's hard to know what the true value of them is. Hopefully it's a fair price for both of us. And I think it is. I think the value on these is really good just because of the way I got it. You know, I think if I had to buy it through normal markets, I probably would never have found it in the first place, because it's probably stone from long ago, and just what the price would have been is tough to say. So, well, enjoy it. Yeah, it's cool stone.
And one more just came
I can't
in.
be interrupted. Like
I
this
know.
all
I
the
figured
time,
I'd get them all out of the way. Everybody's got to get a cheer. Let's see. So, Robert, we haven't talked about this one yet, but he picked up the 2.82 carat antique cushion cut tanzanite. So that one's coming up, but he swooped it up and got himself a great stone. So thank you, Robert.
I don't even know what that one is.
We'll get to let me see if I can pull this up here.
282.
Let's see, this one.
Oh, the long one. Oh, yeah. You know, this is completely natural. I mean, the color is
Really?
not treated
Wow.
on this material. So that's makes it a really rare color, having this deep blue violet, and it's strongly to the violet. Being a natural gem is quite unusual. I still have probably 4 or 5 more from this parcel. They're all natural, and they kind of look cool. That they're all remarkably similar looking material, almost like it was synthetic, a man-made stone, just because of how similar they are and being natural. Just a really, really unusual nature of this gem.
It looks like you cut this one, and that you can kind of see your machine in the back there. There's some people asking. Jeff messaged me. They must be asking from another platform about the cutting machine that you use. So
Can I get it in focus?
Yeah.
Okay. Back here is the Ultratech. This is a V5. This is their most expensive machine, but they do produce a lesser expensive machine. But it is, when people ask what machine I recommend, this is the only machine currently I can recommend, just because it is a machine that's been made for 55 years. The quality is second to none. If you look at probably 2/3 of all the finer cutters in the U.S., they all use this machine. The big benefit is that the company's been in business for pushing 60 years making this machine, and they're likely to be around for another 50 years because they don't rely on faceting machines to be their sole business. They manufacture scientific machines for other industries, and that's been the problem of all the machines I've owned in the past. I have at least 4 other machines, and 3 of them are dysfunctional because I can't get parts. Unless you're a machinist and able to make parts for your machine, all these other machines that are that people use, they have a finite life because there's nobody to give you parts. This company can give you parts, they can give you assistance, they can do repairs for you. So it is the machine to buy currently. This particular machine is somewhere in the $5,500 range. But if you're looking at getting into a business, it's still an inexpensive business to get into, even though the machine is that much money. But the quality is second to none. And again, repairs and replacements are the key. This machine's not going to last forever, although it's well built. One day you're going to need a repair or adjustments on the machine, and this company is there to take care of you on that. And if you get further into it, you can get into the fantasy machine that they produce also, and those 2 machines work together. You take the mass from this machine and it goes on this machine, and you can do fantasy cutting if you really get into it. So,
And just if you could tell our audience briefly how you got into cutting yourself and into the industry.
okay. Well, got to go way back, back to the early 1980s. When I was on the road selling wholesale colored gems. I traveled the U.S. selling colored gems back at a time when colored gems were not very important in the industry. So you had to travel a long ways to find people, jewelers that were really into colored gems. So during my travels, I thought I'd like to try faceting, and I tried it and had no success at it, and then it ended up in a rock shop close by us here. And I got talking to this guy and said I tried faceting and had no luck at it. And he said, well, why don't you come over and I'll show you how to do it. And he sat down with me for 12 hours. And I faceted my first stone. And when I was done, he said, you ought to stay with this because you did a really good job. And I still have that gem. And it actually was pretty well cut for my first gem. So I stayed with it and started cutting. I cut at night while I was on the road selling gems. And I had this machine that really disrupted TVs. I'm sure my next door neighbors hated me a lot because I was screwing up their TV for some reason. But over the years, I finally got proficient at it and started cutting my gems. So that's my story.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks,
Jim
really interesting.
Larimore, if you happen to be out there, he's the guy that sat with me for 12 hours. Cut a round, brilliant synthetic quartz.
Nice job,
So.
Jim Larimore.
Yeah.
You taught him well.
All right, next up is a mineral mic crystal, and this is a monster. This is a scapolite. Just a huge stone, 211 carats.
Yeah, this thing's freaking sweet.
Looks like a yellow tanzanite. They are same crystal?
I don't know what. I
think
couldn't tell you. Crystal systems, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not
very
good
well.
at it either.
But
You'd think by now I'd have learned them.
yeah, something I should probably look more into. But unfortunately, my brain has a threshold and can only learn so much.
It looks like a tanzanite. I'd like it if it was a yellow tanzanite.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
a
that
few
thing,
dollars more.
It's a gem in there. I think there is one little floater crystal in there. I didn't look at it with a lamp, but I'm pretty sure you can cut that thing.
Yeah, it's a pretty clean stone. Yeah, cool. So it weighs 211 carats. This comes from Tanzania. We've got some scapolite here coming up shortly. Next, I think, some faceted scapolite. This particular gem, I don't know, it's just a little under 2 inches by 1 inch is the size. This really nice shape, nice termination. Whoop. So this is it's $22.69 is the price. Just on Mineral Mic. Well, it'll be on More Gems now. But
yeah, it's not even on Mineral Mic yet. This I just picked up along with another crystal that's on the show, and I got many more coming. I found some great things like Steve was talking about the peridot. I've got extraordinary pink tanzanite crystal. It's unbelievable. And a bunch of other things that I'm looking forward to putting online and showing all of you.
Yeah, that pink one, we had to fight to get that one.
Yeah, that was,
a battle with
I am
another
glad
buyer.
that, I came home with it. I'm so happy for that one. So, yeah, thank you, Steve, for talking me into that one because it's a great piece.
So with the 15 off, this is $1,928. Scapolite from Tanzania. That's one of the biggest I've seen. Back in the early 1980s, there was a big hit of material, and there was some huge stones then. I mean, almost fist size. But hasn't really been available since. Just very limited, sporadic availability.
I did happen to get a pretty monster purple scapolite crystal from Afghanistan.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big guy, but not gem like this one though. Still, it's a cool piece, but this is special in itself.
Yeah, that's even bigger than this, isn't it?
Oh yeah. It's quite a bit bigger.
It's like 2 inches by 4 inches or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a big
Might
one.
even be bigger than that.
Yeah. But not formed like that. But it's a really cool piece. Yeah. Scapolite from Tanzania. Next up is a faceted scapolite, which I haven't had one this big for a while. This one weighs 19.81 carats. Comes again from Tanzania. Very clean gem. No treatments for this material. Price we don't have on this, but so it'd be $15.90 would be our appraised price and our price online. And with the 15% off, it's $1,352 or $68 a carat. Nicely cut gem. We assume cut in Thailand, which is where we were headed. We will get there shortly, I'm sure. Sometime within the next year again. You know, just a really good place to buy cut stones, particularly. Here. See just how brilliant it is. Just the cutting is really, really good on this stone. Scapolite from Tanzania. And next up is another, it's a match pair of scapolites. And it is a hidden gem.
It is a hidden gem. I'd tell Jeffrey, but Jeffrey's not here, so I'll tell him online. Jeffrey, a hidden gem, but I will make it live, and everybody, once I come back, I will let you know, and you can refresh the page, and you can take 25% off this beautiful pair of Trilliant scapolites.
And 25% off takes us to $278 or $51 a carat. What's special about these two gems is their depth of color. For their smaller size, they have as deep a color as I've ever seen in scapolite. Just really, really nice color, nice cutting, just a nice match pair of stones. They measure almost 10 millimeters.
All right, everybody, they are live, so go ahead and refresh the page. If you are interested in this pair, it is at a great price, and these are really bright, amazing stones.
I did that. Got them wrapped up now. Good ring size, even a pendant, nice pendant size. You can see the brilliance. You know, just nicely cut. All right, the hidden gems. Again, you need to refresh to see those. Hidden gems originally started because people were jumping ahead, and we had to have some stones that you couldn't jump ahead and buy, and particularly discounted like they are. So we like to make you wait and see what's to come. Up next is one of the more popular gems in the business. Whoops, I'm out of order here, which it still applies. Just a beautiful tanzanite. This is a 20 carater. Beautiful color. 20.12 carat. Mostly blue, 75% blue, 25% violet. And it's a stone that I cut into a stepped, both step pavilion in Crown. So we had a sale?
We did. It wasn't this one, but we were talking about jumping ahead, so I figured I'd mention a couple here, a couple sales that came in. Looks like Ted picked up the angular pear-shaped spinel from Tanzania, the 1.95 carat.
Okay.
So that was this one here. Beautiful stone. You cut that one, huh?
Yep.
And the hidden gems, the 2 scapolites just sold to Martha.
All right.
So thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much. Okay. Back to the Tanzanite. So this one has a rating of 975 out of 1,000. And this rating system is my own rating system. Me and a friend in the past worked on this system. Forget what was his... anyway. But it is my own system, and what it does is break down cut, color, and clarity. I give color more emphasis, so this is like a 4 part rating system. So color gets 2 parts because color is the most important. When you talk about AAA, which has gone into quad A, 5A, people just it's a system that just means nothing anymore. And they're basically looking at color more than anything. You know, they're not so much considering the cut. They're just looking at the color and saying it's AAA. You know, where I'm taking the color, I've given it more emphasis as it should have. And then the cut quality, and I grade these on a 1 to 1,000 rating, and then the clarity, also 1 to 1,000. So I give these numbers, and when I look at the cut, I look at the polish and the symmetry, and give it that number, and then I take those 4 factors, add them up, divide by 4, and that's where you get this the number. In this case, 975. So things, most of the stones we own will come over 900. I'm trying to buy only the best in Tanzanite. But getting stones that are in this 975 and above is pretty rare. You know, this one, obviously I didn't clean it very well when I photographed it. But all that stuff on the surface is not there. I've worked harder to clean things, but, didn't do a very good job on this one. Wow.
Man, Steve,
Man.
you just got your
I
fingerprints
think
all
you
over it.
photographed this one. But clean stone. It's a VS1 clarity, and just a beautiful gem. Appraised price on this one is $23,830. Our online price of $13,500. And with the 15% off, it's $11,475 or $570 a carat.
Now, for the stones that people have purchased tonight, you want to kind of introduce Chris and then
All right.
let everybody know that, we not only cut stones, but we're jeweler designers as well.
I think you just took my introduction. So let's go ahead and Chris, show us what you do when we give you a stone that somebody bought from these shows, and you do your designing. So when you buy a stone, you can tell us you'd like to do a ring, or send us pictures and ideas of what you want, and Chris will take it and he'll do a CAD design and send you the design. We can even send you a wax model of it, and all this, no obligation to you. We'll do a design. If you like it, we'll price it out to you and produce the piece. So, Chris, show us what you do.
Found a gemstone you love during the show? I'm Christopher Michael, head designer here at Moriarty's Gem Art, and I'm here to help you bring it to life. Just reach out to us during or after the show. You can message us directly or call the shop. It all starts with your vision. With the help of specialized CAD software, I'll design a one-of-a-kind ring, pendant, or earrings just for your stone. Along with photorealistic renders, you will review a 3D model and make changes before it goes into production. Once you approve the design, our team gets to work creating your piece with expert craftsmanship right here in our Crown Point shop. What started as a loose gem becomes something truly personal, a one-of-a-kind heirloom quality piece designed just for you. Find your stone tonight and let us create something amazing together.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, so it's a cool process, and Chris has the ability to do some great design work. Up next is probably one of the gems that has gone up the quickest of almost anything other than the spinels is spessartite garnet. And the issue is the Chinese got deep into it, loved the gem, and just started buying everything in the market and just to force the prices up considerably on it. This stone is really well priced. Again, a stone I bought from the estate of my friend Steve. So it's definitely better priced than most spessartites on the market, particularly this size, real popular size, popular shape, 4 carat 16, clean gem. And just beautiful color. The orange color on it is really outstanding. Price on this $4,780. Our price online $3,490, and with the 15% off, this particular gem is $29.67 or $713 a carat. Spessartite, very high refractive index, so you get a really good brilliance out of it. This particular stone from Nigeria, just a really popular color, popular gem. Next one up is a black opal. This is from Nigeria, and just really, really a nice stone, and definitely a black opal. No question about it.
Did you say this was from Nigeria? Is that what you just said?
Did I say that?
I think you did. I don't know. I was kind of half listening, but this one's
was
from
that the
Ethiopia.
last stone was.
Yeah,
but if I did, this is Ethiopian for sure. But just a great black opal, and Ethiopia produces a lot of semi-black, a lot of, not too many that are this black. I even took this and I soaked it in acetone just to make sure it wasn't smoked, because most stones that are this color are smoke treated. They soak them in sugar, and they do a smoke treatment to them. Do they do these in sugar, or am I thinking of something else? Anyway, they're smoked. The smoke is what produces the black. They can take a lower quality white opal, and they can produce blacks that look much like this. We saw a really nice parcel in Denver. I'd hoped it was all black, but I pretty much thought it was smoked, and they were selling it as smoked black opal. But the smoked, it's temporary. They'll fade on their own. I've I've smoked some myself, and given 6 months, they do fade to a gray color. And you can soak the smoke out of them if you're concerned about them. I just put it in acetone, and I believe that's enough to remove any smoke. And this was sold to me as natural. And our supplier is a very good supplier, one of the best in the country, and he does come up with some really nice blacks occasionally. Just great color, and you compare to Australian, this is 1/10 the price of what an Australian gem would be. Even look just like this. So these are hydrophane, so they can take on oils, and you have to be a little more careful than you would with an Australian black opal. So that's one reason for less price. But just keep them out of chemicals, and just avoid medicines and hand creams and things like that.
And Steve, before we get too far along, too, once you finish up with this stone, Alberto would like to see that spessartite on the hand.
Sure. Yeah. So the price on this, $2,000. Our price online, $1,290. And with the 15 off, it's $1,097 or $219 a carat, as compared to $5,000 a carat for an Australian black opal. Really beautiful, beautiful gem. All right, the spessartite. Both Michael and Jeffrey have spessartite rings, and as I've mentioned before, when we went to the shows,
Oh yeah, people love it. I love it.
I had this big. What I was wearing tanzanite,
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
at the time. I had this big. I don't know how big it was, 10, 15 karat tanzanite. I got no replies, and everybody was looking at their rings and just go, "Oh, can I see that?"
And this is
they
about
just
the
stand out
size
real
of,
well. And
our
it's-
rings.
Yeah, real similar color.
Yeah.
Yeah, your stones were 5 karat, I think. So. All right, next stone up is another stone I haven't had in many, many years. Particularly this kind of size. It's a pretty big hessonite. Now, do we have a source on this?
It says Sri Lanka.
It's, and again, this is from the estate, and I'm educated guessing this one.
Yeah. And this
Because that's the only place I've had hessonites from is Sri Lanka. They do come from, there is some from Canada, from the Jeffrey mine in Canada. But it doesn't look like this. You show that video again and tell them what, you remember what the look is?
Yeah, we were looking at this stone. It really caught my eye. Just the color of it, I think, is unique, especially for a garnet. But the heat wave effect that you can kind of see through it is a characteristic of these hessonite garnets. Do you know what that is from, Steve, or just?
No, I have no idea.
Yeah, but
Looks like oil.
yeah,
But it's not. It's
or like a mirage when you're driving on the road.
Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting question. If anybody has that information, we'd like to know. What causes heat wave effect in a hessonite garnet? What could do that? Something in the molecular. Yeah, I don't know. And this is something when you look at it, not photographed, you don't see it. I mean, you probably could get it in a light that you could see it, but if I hold it up to these lights I have here, I can't see that heat wave effect. I think maybe if you put a light from the side of it, you may be able to see it, I would think. Yeah, it's still difficult. Yeah. So it's just a characteristic that really doesn't affect the look of the gem itself when you look at it, but it's there. To the camera. This one? Yeah. You can see it looks fully brilliant. So the heat wave effect has little effect on the beauty of the gem, but it is, like Michael says, an identifying characteristic for hessonite garnets. So the appraised price on this is $3,540. Our price online $2,190, and with the 15% off, it is $1,862 or $279 a carat. Again, it's probably 15, 20 years since I had a hessonite garnet, and I'm not sure I've ever had one this big. But we had a sale.
Yes, we did. So the 4.16 carat spessartite garnet just sold to, let's see, I believe it is to Suzette. So thank you, Suzette.
Right, Suzette.
Yeah, it's a great stone.
Yep.
Beautiful color, and a great shape. That round is just, you can do like anything with it. So.
Yeah, one day maybe I'll have my own ring. But I need a big daddy ring.
Yeah, the big, big daddy.
I need a 10 carat. Well, I should have done the 20 carat from last month.
You keep telling me though you want something, a little bit more normal size. You had that giant amethyst ring.
Yeah,
you
many
had the giant
big rings,
tanzanite.
thinking I had to have big. And
yeah,
I think the 5 to 10 carat is probably a size I should stick with. I think it probably makes a better ring. All right, next stone up, another garnet. This is a Mali garnet. Mali is a country in Africa. West Africa, to be more specific. Limited availability. I have seen some rough lately, but getting most of it cut small stones. Under 2 carat is most typical of this material. So getting a round is important just because of its ability for brilliance and dispersion. So a round does that better than any other cut. So round is a special shape for this size stone. As it comes around, you'll see some of the dispersion, the flashes of different colors in it. Really shows well in LED lights particularly. It's amazing. So this price on this stone is $1,580. Our online price is $1,090. And what is it? And with the 15% off, it's $927 or $332 a carat. You can see the dispersion in this light better. Daylight and LEDs is amazing. So this is a mixture of andradite and grossular garnets. So it has a nice high refractive index. I think maybe 276 is the RI. I should say 176. 276 is an SG, not of this stone, but. So we had a sale, Mike?
Yeah, so it wasn't this one. So if anybody's eyeing this round Mali garnet,
still
it is, I believe, still currently available. But the Hessonite garnet just sold to Edwin.
Oh, Edwin.
So thank you, Edwin.
Thanks, Edwin.
Yeah, that's a sweet stone. I really, that one caught my eye,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
you
Michael is the reason that we have that.
Yes,
'cause
and
he
I
did
think it is a
spot
special
that,
stone.
and he loved it.
yeah. So thank you.
So. Oh, yep.
Yeah, we forgot the hand of the hand today. Steve was about to go get it right before we started, but he was a little late.
A nice size gem. It's a little over 8 millimeter. Which would be comparable to a 2-carat diamond. 2.25. Just nice brilliance. Next gem up is another round brilliant. This was a zircon. Another stone with really good brilliance.
And before we get into that, Jeffrey is sending me over a question.
Right.
Someone asks, why purple color never found in garnet specimens? Which yep. Go ahead, Steve.
It is exceedingly rare. I own one, but I own one that was sold to me as a spinel, so it was fairly pricey. When I got back, I did a refractive index on it, and it was in the spinel range. So I sent it to GIA for a cert, and it was purple. I mean, so no reason to think it wasn't anything but a spinel, because in that refractive index, the choices were spinel and garnet, and it turned out to be a garnet. I'm still debating, I can't, the supplier is in Tanzania, and I can't return it until I go back. But I suppose there's some consideration for keeping the stone, although spinel is expensive and garnets are not as expensive. But a stone of that color, I've never seen a purple garnet.
Well, what about the purple garnets that were coming from Tanzania? Not
those
quite
aren't
that
purple.
Some of them were pretty
They're
purple. Some of them
reddish purple. Yeah, they're strongly to the purple.
Yeah, because I mean, we looked at some and we're like, well, it's almost amethyst. I remember seeing some of those. So,
But
not that lighter purple.
yeah,
It does have some red, but
yes. But that one stone is purple. If I had it available quickly, I'd show it to you. But I should get that out. Next show we'll get that out, and and I should look at it just because it is a rarity. That particular color of that stone I've never seen before in a garnet. But it's if it was half the price, I'd keep it for sure. But priced as a spinel, it's probably too much. But anyway, moving on. Here's a yellow zircon. This comes from Tanzania. And this is just really, really fine for a yellow garnet or a yellow anything. The brilliance or the brilliance of zircon, not garnet, is greater than most other colored gems that we deal with. Just a high refractive index, and so they're just a beautiful, sparkly gem. And typically, I think you'll see some dispersion in this stone. Not as much as like the Molly garnets, but typically this material does display some dispersion. Not a lot in this stone, but you can see definitely has some dispersion in it. So this price on this is $810. Our price online is $590. And with the 15% off, it is $502 or $151 a carat. 8.5 millimeter. Nicely cut.
And now, before we get too far ahead, jumping back to garnets, Jen's Scrapbook Nook asks, can you explain the difference, if any, between the spessartite garnet and a mandarin or Fanta garnet?
Typically, mandarin, well, Fanta is more orange. I mean, that is the Tanzania material that is much more orange than that stone from Nigeria. And the mandarin is a little bit of pink to it, would be the basic difference between them. You'd take that Nigerian stone, add some pink, and you'd have mandarin garnet. And more orange would be the Tanzanian Fanta color. All right, next stone up. This is ammonite, a fossilized ammonite, 70 million years old, comes from Alberta, Canada. And this stone is the top grade of material from that source because there's no cracks in it. I mean, it's just clean. They call it AAA plus. When an ammonite dies, it sinks to the bottom of the sea and is covered up, and it gets fossilized. The surface is changed with pearl-like material, which is, Michael?
Aragonite.
Aragonite.
And what the hardness of aragonite is? It's pretty soft.
Yeah, it's soft. It's like 3.5 or something like that.
And Ron Juan, this material is also stabilized with some sort of epoxy. It's a what do they call that? A trade secret, or I don't know. The way that this company does it, it looks really nice.
Yeah, they wouldn't show us.
No, they wouldn't. Yeah, when we were there, they said you can take a look around except for in this room, and then they scurried us away. And just the way that they do this is, whatever that word is that I can't think of right now.
It's a trade secret, but anyway, this material, it's just without crack, because when the ammonite gets covered up and the pressure actually crushes the stone, and it cracks into pieces. So getting a totally clean piece is a rare thing. And it's priced accordingly. It's probably 5 times what the average quality material is that has cracks through it. There's nothing wrong with the cracks, but having no cracks just makes this one special. As well as the colors, just a nice assortment of colors, and get that little blue area, and you'll probably see some indigo in there. But a beautiful piece of ammonite. Our price online is $840, and with the $15% off, it's $714, $42 a carat.
And when we're going through selecting these pieces, as you can see, Steve, I'm a little bit in the way here, but they are directional. So we select these pieces to wear like Steve is showing there. So when you wear it on a pendant, you'll actually see the color. It won't be a dead spot or anything like that.
Yeah, sometimes many of them you look at, it'll show like this when you're wearing it. You know, that it's just that they are directional, and you have to be careful what you buy, that when you're wearing it and people are looking on it at an angle that's typical, that the colors do show themselves. So we just always take a secondary look after we pick for color and the beauty of the stone, and just make sure it's going to face up correctly when you mount it. We had a sale.
Cool. Yes, we did. And can you guess which stone it was?
I don't know, the zircon.
Nope, it was this stone. Yes, we have to thank Rick for this one. So thank you for the purchase, Rick. Yeah. It's a sweet stone.
Yeah, it is.
Beautiful, bright colors, super vibrant, which is, makes this stuff amazing.
Yeah, I've dealt with amylite far earlier than most people in the business, because back in 1981, I was doing a trade show at the American Gem Trade Association, their first gem show. And next to me was Corite, which we don't currently buy from Corite, but they were the primary manufacturer of amylites at that time, and they were in a booth next to me, and they asked me if I wanted to carry their stuff on the road, and I said, why not? It's a beautiful material, and I'll give it a shot. Was a little difficult because nobody had ever seen it, and at that time, so few jewelers were really into colored gems and into manufacturing themselves and taking unusual shapes, particularly, and making jewelry out of it. So it was a little difficult, but it was a really good experience for me, and I've appreciated amylites ever since. All right. Okay. Okay. Attention, More Gem shoppers. Draw your attention to our gemstone department, where we're featuring a blue light special on 2.31 carat average cushion cut tanzanites. These are 9x7 millimeters, vivid color, mostly a little more violet. There are a few that are about 50-50 and with the blue and purple. But most are more to the violet. But really beautiful gems, really nicely cut. And our price online is $1,250, and with the 30% off, they are $875 or $379 a carat.
Steve, do you have one of those available to show on the hand to see the size?
Somewhere. You can see they're just all really nice, brilliant stones.
And how many were available? Only 6?
We have 6.
6 available. I don't think any have sold yet, so if you're interested in one of these cushion cut tanzanites, it'd make a great ring or pendant. Great price at 30% off.
Whoop. All right. This is a really beautiful trilliant cut. You can see it's rating 985. Just extremely well cut. I didn't cut it, but the cutting is outstanding. The color is the best. It is as good as it gets color-wise. Extreme red flash. I mean, you can start to see it. This light is really not the right light to show the red flash, but it has remarkable red flash. I mean, you can start to see them there, but it's just all over the stone. You know, if red flash is a thing you like, it's remarkable in this gem.
Man, if Jeffrey was here, I'd tell him. Red flash, Jeffrey. He loves the red flash.
Yeah, we don't talk about it a lot, just because the more you talk about it, the more people, that's all they want. You know, and you just don't see it except in bigger gems typically. You know, on rare occasion, you'll see it in a smaller stone, but typically it's just not there, period. But it adds a unique character to tanzanite. Those flashes that are showing kind of deep purple, those are actually red when you're in the right light. This one weighs 12.30 carats. Again, a 985 rating, and that's a rare occurrence to get that high of rating. Measures 14 millimeters. Appraised price is $16,395. Our price online, $84.90. And with the 15% off, it's $72.17 or $587 a carat. What is this? So it says more blue. It's 60% blue, 40% violet.
I really love these trilliant cuts. It's just, I don't know, the brilliance throughout these stones. As of late, I've just loved trilliant. Just, I don't know, the way the play of light in these stones, and when you cut them like this, it just looks fully brilliant.
Yeah, it's probably the only other cut that has brilliance like a round brilliant does. You know, it's the symmetry being equal-sided, you know, is important in cutting as far as getting brilliance out of a stone. The longer you cut them, the tougher it is to get brilliance. But you're right, this one's fully brilliant. I mean, there is no dead spots in this stone whatsoever. What? The other what?
No, you're good.
Just look on it. I mean, very few stones can you look straight on them and there are just no dead spots. All right, next stone up is a beautiful aquamarine. Fully natural color, no heat treatment, so it still has the green.
And real quick, Phil popped in and he was wondering whether that tanzanite was natural color.
Actually, good point. This one is natural color.
Thanks for bringing that up, Phil.
Yeah. I don't know, is it listed on there? Wonder why you asked that. I'm glad you asked. But this one, yes. Yeah, a friend of mine cut it and he said it was natural. You know, he cut it from rough and it was natural rough. And one of these days, there is a lab that says some stones they can ID as natural, and I should take them up on it and find out if that's true. If we could ID these as natural, we would get more money for them. You know, if you could send it to the labs and they could say, yep, natural color. You know, in any other gem, it brings you at least 30% more for being natural. And if they can't do it today, one day they will be able to do it. because there is something different about natural tanzanites. The rough, the color is different, typically. Up till probably 2 years ago, I could look at a piece of natural rough and I knew it was natural rough because they just had a look to them. But there's been material that's come out that's sold to me as heated, and it has that same look. So it kind of blew that identification characteristic out of just a visual identification. But when you buy it in the rough, typically the sources you buy it from, they don't heat the rough. Not that it couldn't be, but the risks in heating rough are significant. Typically, you would like to clean out the imperfections, which in crystals there's almost always imperfections in it, and you clean that out first before you heat it, because they typically won't hold up to heating. So if you heat any crystals or there's an enclosed inclusion that has gas in it, it's going to expand and cause fracturing. So next gem up.
And Eileen wanted to know if the cert could say natural or no on that tanzanite.
Only if, and if somebody wants a gem like this, if you want me to send it out, the lab is one of the better labs in the U.S., and it's not GIA. GIA won't identify tanzanite as natural. And the other lab has only said that certain stones they can ID as natural. And I just talked to a friend about that while we were in Denver, and I do need to send something out to him and see if they can ID it as natural. But because you absolutely can get more money for it if it IDs as natural. If you get that on a cert, it's a natural gem. It has greater value.
Steve, Bob wants to know if you can put that on your hand, the tanzanite on the hand again.
But the color on this one is just remarkable. I mean, it is as good as it gets. The only thing that took this was a 985 would be the cutting. And I probably didn't give it 1,000 rating for color, but I think I gave it a color-wise maybe a 985, 990. I'm not sure why it's not 1,000 grade color-wise. I have a hard time giving anything 1,000 rating. How can I say this is the most perfect gem I've ever seen? But
you've done it.
I have done it.
I think
yes.
Bigelow bought that one.
Yeah. But this, the color on this was at least 990, and why it wasn't 1,000. It could have been, I'm not sure what I don't think I may have given it 1,000 to get a 985, because I know the cutting is extremely good, but not perfect. Yeah. If I were a little, just slightly more lax, this would be 1,000 rated stone.
Eileen says Phil's got 1,000 rating one. So you've probably done a couple.
There's not many.
Yeah.
My wife has one. I would guess there's 4, maybe 5 in my whole time in business. And I think, I don't know, yeah. But I'm impressed with that stone. Okay, up next is this aqua. This is a stone I recut. This comes from Zimbabwe. And fully natural color. You know, you don't see aquas this color very often. The problem with natural in aquas is the green, it's actually yellow in there. The yellow and the blue make it look green. And typically the green is not attractive. But in this case, I think that blue-green color is very attractive in this gem. So no reason to heat it. If you heat it, it will get a little darker and it'll get blue, is what would happen to this gem. You know, but it has greater value as a natural blue-green color. Just really a beautiful, beautiful stone. Deep color. Nice big stone. And again, big face, no extra depth. Cut really is shallow as it can be cut and be fully brilliant. And I recut this because it was a windowed stone, meaning you could see right through it. Now there's no window. You tilt it far enough, you get a window through it, and that's looking through the tip of that. That's what a window looks like. But straight on, this no window. So from Zimbabwe, really only the last 3 years we've started getting material from Zimbabwe. Both these aquamarines, which I bought another couple of aquamarines recently from Zimbabwe, and Sphene would be the other stone we get from there, which you'll see one later. Beautiful gem. Weighs 5.98 carats. I think I started a little over 7 carats before recutting. No treatments. SI1 clarity. You can see the one veil. It showed up. It's off to the edge somewhere. I saw it, but a good clean looking stone and just a beautiful color. Price value of $6,460. Our price online is $35.90, and with the 15% off, it is $3,052 or $510 a carat. Next up is something new and quite unusual. Whoop. That too. I missed the crystal. So this is from Mineral Mike, aquamarine crystal. Just a long crystal. I mean, this is 4 inches long. And is it? I don't think that's 24 millimeters wide. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I just measured the longest part to the point to the side.
Okay. Okay.
But it's actually I think it was 24 by 24, the main crystal.
12 maybe.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, like 13.8 there, around 13.
Oh, it's 13.8 millimeters.
Yeah.
Is what that measurement is.
Right.
Okay. So it's a half an inch wide by basically almost 4 inches long. Got a little twin off there to the side.
And
I
this
don't know,
is,
do we call this a twin too? Or?
I don't know if they'd call that. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But this is that new material out of Nigeria.
Okay. So this is chrome beryl. Does it have chrome? Does this one probably has chrome in it too?
This one, I've tried to fluoresce it. It doesn't fluoresce. It does look more blue than some of the others that have more of a blue-green color. It could be just because this one's so included. But it's a really big and cool crystal. I do have some a lot gemmier crystals that'll look like this next stone that will be coming up on my website, MoreGems.com. But this one, it was just big. And a nice deep bluish, deep greenish blue.
And cheap.
Yes.
Yeah. For a crystal this size. I mean, this is the monster. Cool crystal. $499, and with the 15% off would be like $425, something like that. Beautiful crystal from Mineral Mike. You'll see other aquamarine crystals. He bought one big, really cool crystal too. That'll be online sometime in the next week or two. How big was that one? Just a big fatty. Just a big fat, clean.
It's a chonker for sure. It's pretty sweet, nice termination, gemmy, good blue color.
A stone you could cut, it'd have an inclusion in it, but it would make a remarkable cut stone.
Yes.
But it's such a beautiful crystal that
be tough to cut,
be tough to cut, even for me.
Yeah.
Not that I wouldn't, but we try and sell it as a crystal first because it is a true rarity. So, as this one is, but this is just a real bargain for somebody who wants a nice crystal. So next up is this material just came out recently out of Nigeria, and this is another one to keep in mind that the camera is showing so much more than what really is visual in this stone. All that little stuff you don't see, and this particular cut stone is remarkable quality for this material. Most of it is much more included. This is really a gem quality stone for this particular material. It's much like an emerald. It has characteristics. Everything about it says emerald, except it being bicolor and a little bit on the light side. If it were deeper color, we'd call it a bicolor emerald. Some people want to say it's emerald, and the reasons for that is the coloring is chromium, is the coloring material, which is the coloring agent for emerald. I think, does this have vanadium also, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, which is typical of emerald. Vanadium and chromium are what makes it the green color.
And this stone I brought these home, and I was standing in the office, and the sun was just kind of diffused in there, and these just glowed. And like Steve said, those inclusions, you don't see them, but you get that nice banding, and it's just a very pleasing greenish blue color that comes from these. And they are fluorescent. If you go into a very dark room and you shine a long wave UV flashlight on them, they will glow pink where that banding is.
Which is from the chromium that's in it, which separates it from green beryl, aquamarine. Neither one of those will fluoresce because they don't have chromium in them. So is there some validity to calling this a bicolor or banded emerald? Some validity, yes. Whether it's, I don't think you're going to get any labs saying that, but not sure. If you had an emerald that was this light, they'd call it an emerald. I mean, it would be no question. You get stuff out of Chivor in Colombia. They are can be very, very light. And is there a question they're emerald? No, there isn't, but what ultimately will come out of this, what they call them, time will tell. The banding's unique, and stones that are as clean as this are exceedingly rare, and again, it's probably a supply that's here today and gone tomorrow. I don't know if there's anything new coming out currently, but when did this come out first? Last year? Or?
Yeah, I believe it was about a year ago. No, a little before then, because we saw it in the market in quantity when we were in Hong Kong. But I was seeing it, posted here and there on the internet. So it was before then, but when I saw it on the market, it was about a year ago in Hong Kong. And cut stones just recently. This is Denver, I think, is probably some of the first cut stones I've seen from this.
Yeah, it's the only ones ever we've seen, isn't it? Yeah, I've never seen it before. Just because if you look at the crystals and Michael has on Mineral Mike, they're just much, much more included.
Some of them are, the crystals I've got are cleaner, but yeah, they're included, but gemmy, much more gemmy than that previous crystal that is from that same source.
Right. Yeah, they are, yes. They won't cut like this, but they are very, very clean stones, as you can look on Mineral Mike and see those. So this weighs 6.79 carats. These are natural, no treatments to this material. Comes from Nigeria. $37.50 is our price online. Praise price, there really is no way to give a praise price. It's just something made up. Does not mean a lot. It won't come from the books or anything. Not sure where I got that, but $37.50 is the price online. And $31.88 or $469 a carat.
And Colin just hopped on. He said he's new, getting into faceting. He just ordered his first machine today. Says if it works out, sounds like he got maybe a starter machine. He might upgrade to the Ultratech V5 that you have sitting back there. But he's wondering, how are some gemstones valued? And how do we, I guess, find a set value for certain stones?
Well, as I mentioned when we opened, this is the gem guide. This is available to the trade, not generally to the public, but it is a company that goes out and does all the trade shows and prices these gems. They go around, they have multiple people going around looking for particular gems and trying to get a price, get a feel for what the prices are. And then they produce this pricing guide that lists qualities and sizes and what they've seen at the trade shows as far as pricing. So that's one place, and just going around shopping is how we all learn what the prices of things are. So it's not an easy thing because the quality differences are so dramatic, and learning just what the differences are takes a lot of time. But going to the gem shows is probably the best place to learn. Was that the right answer to that question?
I think so. It was good.
Okay, next up is another bicolor, really almost a tricolor maybe. There's a clear zone down the center. but a unique color in bicolors. You know, this pastel color is not typical. Typically it's a deeper brownish red, and yellowy green would be more typical of what bicolors are. But this is just a very pleasing color that came out of Afghanistan recently. It's kind of an unusual bicolor for it just the colors are so much different than what you typically see in bicolors. This one weighs 7.83 carats. Appraised value on this $86.20. Our price online $62.50. And with the 15% off, it's $53.13 or $678 a carat. Again, another gem that bicolor in this color I've never owned before. It's very pleasing pastel colors.
This was another stone that just looks amazing in that diffused daylight. It just has that soft brilliance that, like Steve said, it's pleasing.
Yeah, which most bicolors, if you look at the two colors that are in them, if you look at either one of them, are they beautiful colors? Typically not. You know, it's like I said, it's typically more brownish red and yellowy green. You know, that's what pleased me about this stone is just both colors are just pleasing colors that if I had a gem cut in either color, I'd be happy with it as a single colored gem.
Cool cup.
Yeah.
Got some sandals on it.
All right, next stone up, another tourmaline. This is a little different pink. It's kind of a coppery pink, just a very slight copper look to it. Not sure if that would be... Yeah, probably not pot parasha color. Which pot parasha and a sapphire is pink orange to orange pink. I think this is probably orange pink. Oh, we had a sale there, Michael.
Yes, this one had actually sold a little bit earlier.
This particular
This
stone?
stone did
Oh,
sell,
cool.
yes. I forgot to mention it, but now that we're showing it, I figured, we'd think
All right.
it was Jalen picked this one up. So thank you very much.
Yeah, just look at the brilliance. I mean, it is pretty remarkably brilliant.
Yeah,
Another one of those in this shape is just, just fully brilliant. There's no dead spots in it.
right. Yeah, this was a nice, just chunky looking cool stone. That step cut on these trillions are just amazing.
Oh, you cut this one.
I did cut this one.
Wow. Nice job, Michael.
Thank you.
I was assuming I did.
Nope, that was, you preformed it for me. So,
Okay.
Yeah, it was, you trimmed off some excess, and
Yeah, nice job.
thanks.
And because Michael cut it, you probably got as good or better cut than I do. Because he's still really anal about getting his facet meats perfect. I'm very, very particular, but Michael is a really, really great quality cutter, and hopefully we'll see more out of him in the future. a lot more.
I'm sure you will. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got ametrine on the machine right now, so that'll be for the next show, and then whatever else you give me.
All right, cool. And no treatments to this stone comes, I think this one's from Mozambique.
Hey, the Bigelow's here. He's in the chat. He just got back from
Matt.
Montana. He was doing some sapphire mining. Matt, you got to come to the shop. Show us what you picked up, and maybe you've got a cutter in there. We'll see.
And anybody interested in going sapphire mining, we do have videos out there on some of our trips. It is a cool place to go. You know, and you're pretty much assured of finding something, and a good shot at finding something cuttable, and a possibility of finding something valuable. You know, Montana sapphires have become very, very desirable in the trade, and a lot of unusual colors that kind of surprised me. The range of colors that have become very, very desirable in sapphires, much like the gray spinels that I used to not think were that exciting, but have found that the trade or the public likes some colors that I didn't think were really saleable, but things have definitely changed in the business, and people are looking at other colors that are not traditionally strong sellers like the big three. And it's very much the case with Montana sapphires. Some of these blue-greens and green coloration in the sapphires have become very, very popular and in high demand. All right, next stone up is another one Michael cut. He not only cut the stone, he designed the cut. What was the program you used, Michael? Was it GemCAD? Is it GemCAD?
GemCut Studio, I believe.
GemCut Studio.
Yeah. So I just wanted to do something a little different.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of neat. The material is really dark, so we did have to heat it to lighten it up a little bit. I think this cut would have worked a little better on something even lighter,
lighter
but
color,
it still
yeah.
has a really cool look to it. But yeah, just kind of a mixed, I don't know if you'd call that a mixed step cut, kind
I'm
of.
not sure what to call it.
I liked all the little shapes.
It's like a Portuguese, but, well, not truly. Yeah, it is kind of stepped, isn't it? No, it's not. I don't know what to call that. It's a mixed Portuguese stepped. Totally different, for sure. But it came out really nice. The color is great. You know, you see this, the color in incandescent is just this soft bluish purple that just very, very attractive. This one weighs 32.61 carats, price of $31.90. $15.68 is the price online. And with the 15% off, it is $1,334 or $41 a carat. The only cut of its kind.
I don't know, maybe somebody else did it.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
I think yours is unique. Nicely done. Oop. Go the size, huh? Amethyst from Bahia, Brazil. And next up is another Pakistan peridot. This one is more traditional color. Not quite as minty. The Pakistani people definitely prefer this color because it's more traditional, and this one, it's still minty color. It's actually mintier than what you're seeing here on the screen. It's more like what's online. It's showing a little yellowish here, but it's not yellowish at all. Just a really fine green. I like the minty, but this one was for a traditional peridot color. It was really as fine as I've seen. Weighs 9.44 carats. None of this material, no peridot is treated, so they're all natural. Appraised price of $6,610. Our online price $2,860. And with the 15 off, it's $2,431 or $258 a carat. Very clean gem. This color does not typically have the Ludwigite needles in it. That would be a nice size for a ring. And of course, good pendant size. Nicely cut, good brilliance. Pakistani peridot, and Pakistan, absolutely the finest source of peridot anywhere in the world. The only thing close really is Burma, which I haven't seen anything from Burma for years. And Burma will be much more expensive. I can guarantee you it'll be twice as much as Pakistani material. Next stone up, rubellite. And this is absolutely the finest rubellite I've owned in 20 years. It's just red. I mean, it's the finest red. The pictures won't do it justice, and this camera will definitely not do it justice. Not bad, but it's just so much redder. Just very difficult to get fine rubellites. And as I mentioned, it is one of the gems that's gone up in price just recently. But weighs 3 carats. I'm guessing there's no treatment on it. I think this comes from a time from Brazil when you were getting natural stones, but I can't guarantee that this one's not treated. I don't think it's really possible to ID the difference. I'm just going on the color and what I know from the past, and I believe it's not treated, but it's not something I can guarantee you that it isn't. But again, difficult or impossible to ID it, so no real effect on the price. So rubellite is a type 3 stone from GIA, just like emerald, so it's always included. I mean, you just never find this material with high clarity, and this is the case with this stone, although in person it appears visually difficult to see anything in it. But for a rubellite, it is one of the better clarities I've seen. And like I say, the color is, you see it in person, it's pretty remarkable color for a rubellite. Everything these days is much more violet, red, just what you see these days, you don't look at it and you really say it's red. Whereas this stone, you would say the base color, it is a red stone. It has a secondary violet modifier, but it just appears as red.
And Eileen's wondering, did we find out what the age of this stone was when that collector was collecting at least this particular stone?
Well, I've known him since the early 80s, so almost 45 years or so. I've known him, and when this was purchased, he purchased quite a few stones from me, and he was just at the shows all the time, and he was kind of in the group that I hung out with over the years, and so I have no idea when this was bought, but knowing rubellite, I can almost guarantee it was the pre-millennium, pre-2000. Probably back in the 1990s, could have been the 80s, because I just haven't seen this color. It's so long since I've seen this color. So. All right. What sold?
Well,
rubellite should sell.
Yes, that was the stone. Rubellite sold to
it's really
Corey.
a good one.
So thank you, Corey. That is that red. Even when you held up your hand with that, man.
It's so much better than anything you see here. When you see it, it's.
And I haven't, like Steve said,
color.
This material hasn't been out since.
Yeah.
I don't know. If it was the early or in the 90s, it was before my time, and I've going through the shows. This isn't material that you typically see when you're walking around to the vendors.
I haven't seen this color at a show in memory. Yeah. So. Yeah, I went through and did a specific gravity on it and the refractive index just to make sure, because when you see something that is not typical for what's out there, you want to make sure what it is. And although it has some inclusions, there are some of the needles that are typical of this material. If you look at most rubellites, you can ID them because these needles that are in them are cut. They're cut so they're totally vertical. You can't see them because often the needles run through the whole thing. But if they're totally vertical or perpendicular to the table, they disappear for the most part. And off to the side of the stone were some of those needles, and it's just a real identifying characteristic of the material. But refractive index and specific gravity, which I did both, will ID it as tourmaline. But the treatment, again, I can't tell you for sure, but if I would bet on it that it is a natural color. Okay, next gem up is the next hidden gem.
Yes, this is our final hidden gem. So for those of you who are new or have not seen these yet, these are unlisted until now. So this 9.82 karat rhodolite garnet is not available yet, but give me a minute here. I'm going to head over to the website, make it live, and I'll let you know. If you like the look of this stone right now, I'd say head over to MoreGems.com, just keep refreshing the page, and that should pop up as one of the first 3 stones. I'll let you know once it's live.
All right, this comes from Tanzania. It's a 9.82 karat rhodolite garnet, cut in a step cut, measures 10 millimeters. The appraised price on it is $29.50. Our price online is $16.75, and with the 25% off, it is
live.
It is live. Or refresh your browser. 9.82, so it's $1,256 or $128 a carat. So a nice size for a pendant or a ring. And again, this color doesn't show well on here. It's more violet red than what you see here. A very clean gem. Rhodolite garnet. Yeah. Really, really nice rhodolite color. I don't know what that color looks like there, but almost looks brownish red, but it's just a nice violet red. Hidden gem, 25% off. And $128 a carat for a 10 carat rhodolite, I think, is a pretty good price. But there's been a lot of rhodolite lately, and I've been buying it up just because, again, this material goes in cycles. We've got 2 or 3 countries producing right now, so there's quite a bit out there, but I know, again, as quick as it comes, it goes away. So I've bought a lot of material and have plenty to cut for probably the next 10 years. Yeah, but a worthwhile gem to own. All right, next up is a really, really fine sphene from Zimbabwe. This one has just excellent dispersion and just a great color. You know, much of this material is more brown or more yellow. This just has a beautiful green color, nicely cut. A big sphene. And just outstanding dispersion. You know, sphenes are known for their dispersion, but not all of them show dramatic dispersion like this one does. You can see all the play of color in it. And that's what sphene is known for. So this one weighs 8.51 carat. I do own one bigger. I've got a 15 carat from Madagascar. But this is probably better color and better dispersion. There's no treatment for these. And this one for a sphene is very high clarity. Typically, there are some inclusions in this material. We don't have an appraised price because the guides don't give us a price for sphenes. Our price online is $44.40, and with the 15% off, it's $37.74 or $443 a carat. A sphene from Zimbabwe.
And yeah, I was just going to mention, sphene is a slightly softer stone, so I would not recommend it for a ring, although that is good for size reference. Better for a pendant,
For
I
sure.
would say pendant only.
Yeah. I see people mounting it in a pendant. I go, oh, that's a one-day stone or in a ring.
In a ring, yeah.
Yeah.
Pendant is, better idea.
Pendant safe, yes. As long as we can get it set. Yeah, setting is still not the easiest in these softer gems. I don't know, I think it's 5.5 is the hardness on sphene, I think. 5 or 5.5. All right, talking about Madagascar or Montana sapphires. Here's a Montana, unique color. This one definitely changes colors. In daylight, it is more blue, and in incandescent light is more green. Although it's pale color in either. But really pretty stone, nice bright stone, good clarity for a Montana sapphire. And nice big spread to it, no extra weight at all. It gives you almost an 8 millimeter diameter. Just excellent brilliance.
Welcome, Scott.
Praise price on this one, $24.80. $17.90 is our price online, and with the 15 off, it's $15.22 or $629 a carat. Great, really make a nice ring. See the brilliance. And you could do a pendant. Sapphire from Montana. I don't know if this one, I did cut this one. I'm not sure if it's noted on there, but
I don't believe it was noted. I thought that you might have, but it didn't say that.
yeah.
So I just kept it as what you listed it as.
Okay. Cut by Steve Moriarty. Next up is kind of a unique color in tourmaline. Just really I don't know what to call it, golden, I guess. Yellow is relatively rare in tourmaline. And this golden color, I don't think I've cut another one like it. So we had a sale there, Mike.
Yes, we did. It is this rare golden colored
cool.
tourmaline.
Cool.
This, we have to thank Roger. Thank you, Roger, for purchasing the stone. Maybe you could tell a little bit more about it.
Yeah, this comes from Congo. Congo was producing a significant amount of material, but currently not. Very little, if anything, coming out of Congo at this time. Hopefully there's more material. They just have a lot of warring going on in Congo. So it's kind of stopped production. And we hope to see more production, because the cool thing about Congo, like this stone, no treatments. Almost all the material that's come out of there is just comes out natural. Most tourmaline is treated because it's overly dark, and this material is just that it generally is more pastel colors than the deep colors you typically see out of other sources. So no heat required. So clean stone, nice brilliance, and definitely unique color. Next stone I think was sold. Which is a natural tanzanite. Give a quick view of it. Pretty dramatically to the purple, 70% violet and 30% blue. But natural color. Next up. All right. Back to the blue light special. These are 9x7 antique cushion cuts. They're average of 2.31 carat. I think they range from 2.31, range from about 220 to 250 is the range. More to the purple. A couple of them are a little more blue, and if you're after more blue, you can let us know that you'd like one that's more blue. Probably would have to call us tomorrow and we'd just pick out one that's more blue. But if you look at it, there's a little range there. You know, maybe the third from the right is more blue and maybe the two middle ones. But definitely typical of tanzanite, more on the violet side. We had a sale.
Yes, and Leon liked this blue light special, so they picked up one of these 30% off cushion cut tanzanites. So tomorrow, if you have any preference on what you'd like, feel free to give us a call, and we'll try and pick the right one out for you. So there are now 5 blue light special tanzanites left.
Yeah. And typically the blue light specials, they typically sell out. You know, sometimes takes a few days, but they've been a good item for us. Sure. And these are just really nicely cut, nice brilliance, nice color. Next gem up is another, we've cut quite a few of these ametrines. We have a lot to cut yet. We think they're cool, and you know, this has been a real popular cut. Some call it a pixel cut. I know it is an opposed bar, just because the facets on the back are in opposition to the facets on the top. This is a little different. Opposed bars are usually a single step on the back. This has 2 facets. Just a cut that, you know, I've been breaking emerald cuts down and trying making them a little more brilliant by not just having one single facet all the way across that, and do 2 instead of the single.
I posted one of these on TikTok. People were calling it the peanut butter jelly gem, or the Wario, if anybody's into Nintendo. And who's the basketball team?
This would...
I don't know. I don't really follow basketball or sports in general, but yeah. It's from California. I don't know. Somebody in the chat's got to know. There's probably a big basketball fan.
The colors.
Yeah.
Are right.
But yeah.
Purple and yellow.
Right.
Who's purple and yellow?
The Lakers. Yeah. That's it, Scott.
So kind of unique action to this cut, and it does split it well. You know, so you got to be careful on how you cut these, that you actually don't blend the colors too much. And this one actually worked. And they're pretty blended too, but much more unique when you get a good separation like this. So appraised price on this, $1,580. Our price online, $790, and with the 15% off, it is $672, which figures to $51 a carat. Maybe this black t-shirt wasn't the right choice of colors. Denver 2025 shirt.
Oh yeah, show them the colors of Tanzanite.
Features the colors of Tanzanite. And Steve makes these, and I was very excited to see all these tanzanite colors. Ametrine comes from Bolivia, and it is completely natural, no treatments to it. Next one has been sold. The next two have been sold. Quick look.
Eileen, the ametrine, those are unheated colors, so natural from the earth.
This was a heat-treated green tanzanite is what that one was. And the next one was soldstone. That's a spinel from Tanzania. So one thing to keep in mind when you look at stones, when you get a stone in, check it in all different lights. They vary quite a bit. Many of these stones almost change color in different lights. Like I was talking about the Montana sapphires. If you take it outside, it was pastel blue, little bit of green, but inside an incandescent light, it was more green. You would call it green inside and blue outside. So they do color change, and you'll find that of many stones. Certain lights you'll just see a different look in every light you go to. So this is a match pair of peridot. Again, really nicely cut. Not stones we cut, but these were cut in Pakistan, and they just do a really nice job. Which the whole world is getting better at cutting. They're starting to buy better machines and making better cuts. This pair weighs 7.22 carats. They're completely natural from Pakistan. High clarity. Price $14.90, and with the 15% off, they're $1,267 or $175 a carat. The ring size would be earrings. Nice drop earrings.
Looks good on you, Steve.
Hey,
you should get a
like
pair.
that.
What do you think?
What do you think, Nancy?
Chat? Should
Would
we
you let me wear an earring?
let's pierce them next live show?
That'd be fun. Why not? Did I give all the information on that? With 15, yeah, I did. 175 a carat is what those end up. And the next pair is 6.21 carat square cushions. Price $1,860. $890 is our online price. And with the 15 off, it's $757, $122 a carat. Again, nicely cut. Nice brilliance. And peridot from Pakistan.
Well,
I was going to show you
some big stuff.
the future cutting. I think I may have shown this one. This is a 1,000 carat topaz, completely natural. So it's let's see if I can get it a white background, and you can see maybe the blue color zoning in it. So it's gonna, yeah, you can see the blue. Kind of runs through this center section here. A little bit less color out here.
Yeah,
But you can see its body color is blue.
And just jump in here, Steve, real quick. If those of you who can't see this chat, Jeffrey is chatting in there. He said, we're finished up with the stones. If you guys have any questions for Steve, leave them in the chat, log in, or let us know if there's a stone that you'd like to see again. We'd be happy to show you. Otherwise, tell us what your favorites were in the chat. I'll ask Jeffrey what his favorites were, and then Steve and I will tell you what our favorites are. But until then, Steve, show them those nice topaz.
So I'm going to cut something square. It's probably going to be a step cut because it's deep and to use as much material as I can and get as much color out as I can. But this natural untreated, most topaz is treated, and what you get when you treat it is this color. So I'll probably, my goal is to cut two stones that are very similar. These are both 1,000-carat topazes. So you can see the cleavage plane here is just totally flat. This is the cleavage plane. And the best color is right down the cleavage plane. But when you cut this, for you cutters out there, you do have to angle it a little bit. You can't cut on the cleavage. You'll never polish that cleavage. So you have to turn it 3 to 5 degrees off axis, off the C axis, which this is the C, this is the A, and the B axis. But cutting directly on the C axis of this stone, you'll never polish it. Just so you have to angle it. I'll probably saw it or I'll polish it just a little off axis. And same with this stone. This is the C axis, and you just have to tilt it a little bit to get off that C axis so you don't have problems polishing it. But these will both produce maybe 300-400 carat faceted stones. They'll take forever. Stone is this size, difficult to polish. I would like to think I could cut one in a day, but I'm thinking they're probably 2-day stones. But I would definitely like them to be 2 identical cuts would be cool. One natural, one irradiated. This particular stone will be cyclotron treated. They put it in a cyclotron and bombard it, and it alters the color. Not much residual radiation with this. I think 6 months definitely gone. Probably not even that long with this. There may be very little residual radiation. Whereas the London blue is nuclear, it's atomic pile treated, and that has a much longer residual radiation to it. I think 6 months they have to be put away. So, all right. Any questions out there?
Let's see. Phil wants to know, did you have any pictures of that piece of rough before you heated it? The green tanzanite?
Maybe.
Phil, we'll take a look, and if we have it, we'll send it over to you.
The fly.
Don't know. I don't see much else coming through yet. But Jeffrey, Bigelow said his favorite stones were the earrings on Stevie.
Thanks, Matt. You're a sweetheart.
Let's see. Pablo.
Is this favorite of what didn't sell or favorite of
Yeah,
all
what
of
didn't
them?
sell? So, and Pablo wants to know, why do you like cutting antique cushion on most of your stones? Is Brilliant a good option for Sphene? I'm guessing it's Sphene, Sapphire, or Tanzanite.
Round Brilliant?
He just said Brilliant.
I'm not sure exactly how to answer that. Brilliant style. I mean, I do a lot of step cuts as opposed to Brilliant, just because a lot of material you'll get much better yield, and you'll get maybe not as much brilliance as you do in a round Brilliant, but you get really remarkable brilliance, and your yield's better. It's an easier way of getting higher yield out of every stone. But cutting a round Brilliant, it will get you maximum brilliance out of any stone, and including, in most, round Brilliant is a choice that you, if the rough says round, you definitely cut a round, because it's more likely going to be a more beautiful stone than any other cut. But square cushions work real well, and like we talked about earlier, trillions, whether Brilliant cut or step cut, are some of the best choices for great brilliance. Anything 1-to-1 proportions will be more brilliant than other cuts.
So, KETR. No luck cutting the Madagascar Moonstone yet.
No.
We talked to a cutter, and we're gonna try her methods. I don't know. Let's see what happens. But you haven't tried anything since, right?
No. Yeah, I'm tired of frustrating stones. But I did get back to like a fluorite we sold last show. I had issues with it, and it sat for at least a year or two. And finally I went back to it, and problems went away, So who knows what, some issues are just the stone, and some issues are the cutter himself, So I hope to cut the Moonstone. I'd like to find somebody that has good luck cutting Moonstone, because I have 3 pieces of nice rough that will cut great stones. But right now I'm not going to challenge it. I've got more important things, like a lot of big tanzanites that I need to deal with, that it won't give me problems. The other things, I've got rhodonite that are remarkable. I have a remarkable piece of rhodonite that I tried cutting one of those, and it just fractured on me. Went back to it, fractured again, and so I've kind of given up on that. And
And Tracy, she asked if there's any update on the Tanzanite pendant that Chris had started, that we did the video for. So we looked for that, Tracy, to see if the shop got to it. But we were on vacation 2 weeks ago. Me and Steve were out last week, and it still is being worked on. The shop
will be on
busy.
Next show, guaranteed.
Yes, we're going to have a meeting tomorrow. We'll get that finished up, because it will be a cool piece, but we have not gotten it done yet. We hoped for it, we looked for it, and not quite done yet. Let's see.
Here's my favorite.
Steve's favorite.
The aqua.
That is a nice one.
Yeah, such a great color for aqua. So rare you get that green color that is attractive in an aquamarine.
That was this stone here.
Yeah.
So that is Steve's favorite of the night that has not sold. Jeffrey said his favorite was the pink spinel. That was a really nice stone. That is a great one.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm surprised that didn't sell.
Right, yeah. I mean,
it's
just
hot,
beautiful. And mine would have to be the Trilliant Tanzanite. This was, great buy that, that we found just this Denver. And the red flash in it is just extraordinary.
Yeah, that came from a friend we travel with to Tanzania. I've been with him 3 times in Tanzania. And, it was a great, just a great stone.
Somebody else in chat like the Montana Sapphire. And let's see, Phil.
There's Montana.
There's that Montana, yep. Phil said, "Let him know if we find out that the lab can verify that this is natural. He'd like to know."
Yeah, I will follow up on that. We had that talk in Denver, and it's important, but I don't know what determines whether they can ID it. I've been looking at using the microscope and try and see if I can see anything that is characteristic, but I can't definitely ID anything.
And Vixen Building, he's new to the show, so welcome. Thanks for joining. We always have a good time and good to see new people in the chat. He said he loves the ametrine, but he's not going to show them to his wife, otherwise he's going to go broke. So. Well, thanks for coming. Maybe you can show her 1 or 2, and every once in a while, then you might be all right. But I think
send us her email address.
That's about it. I don't see anything else coming through. Let me check to see if Jeffrey has messaged me. Nothing from Jeff. That's gonna do it for us. We want to thank everybody for watching. Steve, you want to try this ending with
No.
No? He lost his sheet of paper of what to say at the end.
I need notes, so we're gonna make Michael do it.
All right. Well, let me prepare myself here. So we want to thank everybody for watching. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell to get alerts for when we go live. And that's going to do it for us tonight. So keep on gemming.
All right. I'm Steve Moriarty. Keep on jamming.
Bye.
I got that part of it down.
Let's go, like the stage is set. Rare gemstones you won't forget. Colors so bold, they steal the scene. A world of brilliance, crisp and clean. On the MoreGems show, where treasures shine. A moment of beauty, a spark divine. Cut to perfection. Glowing with pride, step into the wonder, come inside. Come inside. The finest gems, each one a star, from places distant and lands afar. Shapes that shimmer, hues that play. This is your chance, it's Gem Drop Day. So see the light in every stone, crafted by hands, each one alone. A fleeting glimpse, don't let it fade. Gems like these are never remade. On the MoreGems show, where treasures shine. Where treasures shine. A moment of beauty, a spark divine. Cut to perfection, glow Gem Show, where treasures shine. A moment of beauty, spark divine. Cut to perfection, glowing with pride. Step into the wonder, come inside. Learn inside, yo. It's the MoreGems Show, a dazzling view where every gemstone waits for you.